What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this is my recap review for P Valley episode 5 Valley. Now, if you're new to my channel, the way that I do my reviews is I do a quick recap of the episode, and then I give my opinion, my real talk reviews at the end of the episode. A lot's going on. It's episode 5. I'm gonna break it down. Please subscribe if you're new. I'm really trying to get to 30K subs. I appreciate your support. Hit that like. Let's get into it. Now, when the episode starts off, we see that somebody's in the club. They recording and having a good time. Sound like they drunk. They recording Miss Mississippi. Next thing you know, we see is this one woman, Big Beauty. She's sitting here drunk, having a good time. She's spending all kind of money on the dancers, throwing it up, having a good time. Next thing you know, we see that, and she ain't a happy drunk. That she's a sad drunk. She's crying, and Mississippi trying to make her feel better. Say, you can't carry all that stress. You got to put that doo-doo down, girl. You a sweetheart. You all caring. You gave up all that money for me. And then she passed out, and then she like, come on, let's get this money. Let's get this bag, girl. And so they go ahead and took all this money. This woman's half of her divorce settlement. She's throwing up. Next thing you know, we see Lil Murder is in Uncle Clifford's room, ass out, Brussels sprout just spread out, and Uncle Clifford just staring at him on the couch, just looking all at his mangina hanging out, and he just rubbing on himself. Next thing you know, he putting on his costume and he's ready for action. He go out, he see Big Beauty still out there asleep, mumbling Lil Murder's music, so he help her out. And little did he know, everybody out front looking at a sign saying foreclosure, and they like, man, the Pynk about to get closed down, man, what they talking about, man? And so Drake Schwarzenegger is worried, and anyway, Mississippi, she just happy she got likes on YouTube or whatever, and so they like, well, I'm glad somebody happy at a funeral. Meanwhile, Big Beauty come out still singing, half drunk, half walking. Clifford talking about, what the problem, is Mercedes dead? They like, no, the Pynk is dead. He like, foreclosed on, what the 14 days, and he just fall out on the floor. Meanwhile, we see that it's all on the news that Mercedes then whooped her mama's ass, and so everybody is seeing it, and we see that all them trying to get money, but they telling her ain't no more transfers. So she pissed, talking about, y'all said it's supposed to be unlimited. I need to get my family back on track. The woman looks, she like, well, it look like your family is well taken care of. And so next thing you know, they scared because they see this car coming straight to him. It's Big Beauty, drunk as hell. She was about to run right into him, but she make a turn at the last minute and didn't kill him. Meanwhile, we see that Mercedes is having a hard time in jail. The dude's kind of rough with her, and Big Beauty getting brought up in there. She's still mumbling Lil Murder song, and Mercedes say, who sang that song? She say, Lil Murder sang that song. And she say, what? Lil Murder. And so then she talking, and then we see that the dude, he like, man, get over there, I still ain't got my wallet back. And she like, who? What, Jesse? He like, yeah. And this ended up being the guy in the first episode they threw out because she told him, watch, keep your hands where I can see him. And so now she pissed because now one of the people she done threw out the club is now got a control over her. And so now they putting her in jail. All kind of people is looking at this gay dude talking about, Jesse, put me in there with the women. And then we see, next thing you know, she in the cell with her mama. She just haul off when she see her mama scream, ah, and just start whooping her mama ass again. And the little gay dude like, you know what, maybe I'm better off over here. And so then Jesse say, hey, if you keep on doing this, you're going to end up with a murder charge too. You want to add that to your charges? She say, well, she just ran into my fist. Yeah, okay, well, you keep on hitting your mama like that, I would separate you, but I can't. Then this other girl, that's her mama? And he say, you ain't supposed to hit your mama. And so then even this little crackhead junkie like, Jesse make it do whatever he wanted to. And so now they trying to fix the mama wig, and you see old Aunt B talking about some, you don't hit and raise a hand to your mother no matter what she did. So now they turning against Mercedes. Meanwhile, see, this mysterious man talking with Barney Fife, and Barney Fife trying to get some info, and he's saying he looking for this woman, and he's like, well, what's your name if I come across? And this guy seeming all concerned, got one little teardrop, and then he say his name was Montavious Hill, and as he leave, he bump into Big Cliff, and so then we see that Barney Fife and Cliff got some business. He like, what you doing putting this up on my establishment? We need to talk. And so then they go into Barney Fife office to talk. And so Barney is talking with Cliffy, and then he's saying, so what is going on? He say, well, I don't know, man. This is your boy's thing. And he like, my boy? I thought Mayor Ruffin was your boy for what he got you doing, what he supposed to. And he say, hey, look, they don't want titties with tequila. They said your establishment is a blight on the community. He say, you know that ain't right, and you know something ain't going on, right? He say, look, I'll check it out. And he say, Mercedes here? He say, I want to talk to her. And so then they find out, so he going to try to talk to Mercedes. Meanwhile, she got in there having a hard to do, beating his meat to all her booty meat hanging out. She feeling exposed. Dudes is jerking off and saying all kinds of stuff, and now the women in prison is all talking about, man, I need to get the gun and this and that. Big Beauty is over here singing and stuff, and they like, we need to have her be a jukebox. And now they start talking to the mom, and then Big Beauty say, are you Mercedes? I came all the way here to see your last dance, girl. They had somebody else though. And she say, they had somebody else dance in my place? Yeah, M.I. Crooked Letter. So she mad. Then Cliffy comes, and the first thing she say is, you had Keyshawn dance in my place? He say, well, what I'm supposed to do, Mercedes? Let him tear up the club. I didn't have no other choice, Mercedes. And so she say, well, how she do? And she say, girl, she did. She did all right. She did all right. Mercedes, what's happening? And she's saying, well, she stole everything. And he's saying, I know. Then you just stay strong, okay? And don't beat her ass no more. Then I'm gonna get some money, stacks, and on your bail. You know, foreclosure be damn. And then she saw the foreclosure. She said, the bank getting closed on? And then he said, yeah, I'm gonna get you out. And then she said, you better keep my name out your mouth. And he said, girl, you better be quiet before I come over there and get you. She say, what? You ain't want none of this. And so they going back and forth. And then Clifford talk about giving her some strength and everything, trying to encourage her. And then she say, you know, keep the money, you know, get that Pynk, you owe $55,000, you spend that money on that, don't spend it on my bail. And then he said, yeah, don't worry about Beatrice. He called her Beatrice instead of Patrice. And so then he left, and so she said, you all over her, and he been a better family than you ever been. And he said, you gonna say that thing is better than mother to you than me? Say, yeah, at least she didn't have no phone bills and stuff in my name since I was a kid and robbing me. And so then we see that Gidget at home, and she get a phone call, and it's unknown, but it's end up being Mercedes, and she's saying, you know, you the only number I got memorized, pick up. So she pick up, she like, what's going on? She say, you know, I need some money. And she like, well, how I'm supposed to do that? How I'ma help? And so then she telling her she get the money. Her mama robbed her, everything. And so at first Gidget was reluctant, because she like, you the one with all the stacks saved up. But then she felt bad for her when she found out her mama took everything she got and the space that she wanted. So now Mercedes sitting there cold, alone, and we see that the dude that she kind of got mad with, that was a pervert, was staring at her, kind of perverted for a second, but he ended up giving her a coat. Felt bad for her, and they like, it must be nice to have a booty like that. And mama like, yeah, bring problems too. And so she said, yeah, right. Anything you say, I ain't trying to hear it. And so the mama trying to still talk and start trying to preach, and she say, you need to quit. You did not only took my money that I worked, you know how hard you set me back. That was the only way I was gonna be able to spend time with my daughter. And she say, what? You think that the judge gonna take you and take that daughter out that nice house and put her on the corner of Thugs and Thought Street? I mean, come on. they ain't about to give you them babies back. That's her baby. Blessed be the woman that take care of another woman's child, even after her husband with the infidelity. And so then we see that basically that Mercedes' daughter she had with that other woman's husband. And so now they went back and forth. She said, I'd never be a mother like you. Now we see that Autumn Night is still trying to figure out a way to get that money. She got the little message from Gidget that everybody need the money for Mercedes, so she ended up showing up. And while they was there, we got old pervert right here, and they ain't trying to pay the 2 stacks. They had the money, but he like, hold on now, it could take a little more fees, and we gonna go ahead and add it up. And next thing you know, he say it's $5,000. They like, what? $5,000? He like, well, I don't know how y'all gonna come up with it unless y'all sell them little coochies or something with your legs. And then everybody tear it up and stuff. Mississippi just mess up his papers like she really did something. So now they all outside trying to figure out what they gonna do. They basically gave up. Gidget tried to talk them out of it, but they was like, man, it's a wrap. And so we see that Gidget and Autumn is sitting there, and she like, you think Mercedes really would have helped them? She like, nah, but hey, I'm just trying. Then we see Mercedes' car getting towed. They like, man, when it rain, it pour. Now in jail, Aunt B and everybody done flipped on the mama now that they done known all the dirt she did. They like, she trying to get with her daughter and you robbed her. She trying to do this and that. She like, yeah, I'm from the dirt. I was bad, but ain't God good? And so she started humming. But Big Beauty, she started singing, and she could sing really good. And that pissed off Mercedes, because when Big Beauty started singing with her, it actually made it sound good. It started making it sound real churchy. And so it actually helped her. And so she started singing with Big Beauty. Next thing you know, she on the good foot, bouncing around, talking all this good stuff. And now people is all trying to have a little church up in there. And she trying to bring people, and she done got down and trying to get Mercedes to come, talking about forgiveness and this and that. Mercedes ain't trying to hear it. And she all trying to get everybody worked up into a little church frenzy. And then she saying, you know, come on, it's all in you. Forgive me, Mercedes, this and that. And everybody is starting to feel the Holy Ghost or something. And we see it, Big Beauty feeling it, Aunt B feeling it. And then Mercedes come like she feeling it, and she get down and she say, mama, you dead to me. And then she just look at her and get up, and it just so happened that they had called for her to go. So she get up and she leave up out of there. And so mama just sitting there looking hurt. But then as Mercedes is gone, she began to smile as if like, whatever. And so then as Mercedes leave, I kind of think mama was on some BS. But Mercedes come out, still wearing nothing but her little outfit, and it's the only person there of all people is Autumn Night. The one person she was kind of having a little problem with was the only one there for her. And so she sat there getting the car. She wondering where Gidget, everybody, nobody there. She sitting there, and then she finally break down and cry, because she been in there strong the whole time, never cried. Meanwhile, we see Mayor Ruffin in there putting on a little show for his little barbershop folks, entertaining and stuff, and everybody taking pictures. Next thing you know, Cliffy Pooh walk in. They like, don't you need to be in the beauty salon? And he say, look, I need to talk right chair. We need a chalk. And so he like, so what's going on with you trying to put me out at the Pynk? He say, you are a tumor, and I can't wait to cut out. And he say, well, how about I let people know that they getting half of what you giving them white folks? And he like, oh yeah, how you figure that? Where you get this from? Say, look, I don't care what you do, ain't nobody gonna believe you, and I can't wait till you gone. And he say, what you trying to erase me? He say, some people need to be erased. And so now that got Cliff feeling like, okay, this a war. Now we see in the car, Ruffin is leaving. He like, man, how did he get this? Are you forking Uncle Clifford? He like, what, man? He say, man, I don't care, that's between you and your wife, but I don't know how he got this paperwork, but they better not blow this deal. Meanwhile, we see back at the Pynk that is trying to be as popping, and they got Mississippi performing like a duet with Lil Murda now. And we see that she putting in work on the pole and everything, and she climbing up, and it's just like she's starting to come into her own as like a little star at the club. And so now Clifford is back there talking with his big boy, and he trying to talk about these numbers. And next thing you know, we see Lil Murda. He like, how the hell little Negro know how to get back here? He say, don't worry about that. Don't you need to take a break? And so he say, yeah, whatever. I don't never take breaks. And so Cliff get back there and try to act like he busy while little Negro come up in there. And so he come and talk to him. He like, so what can I help you with? He like, oh, so that's how it's gonna be. We just gonna, suck and buck in the dark. I'm just saying, I wanted some more, but you was gone. What's up? He like, well, I got things to do. He like, yeah, well, I'm just saying. He like, look, little Negro. He like, no, it's not little Murda. It's little Marcus. And he said, I want to be with you. And he trying to say, I want to take you out. He like, where we gonna go? Last time people went here and went there, they got raped or killed. And we can't go nowhere. And so they all start to kiss and stuff. Meanwhile, we see Mississippi just happy and blowing up on the gram. One of her little friends got a little bit of shade. But then she got told that her baby out there to get picked up. So she go out there to pick up her baby from her man. And it's a little awkward silence. And then he like, why you come out here dressed like that? She like, I was just at work and I had to come pick him up real quick. He like, who watches him while you're there? And she say, everybody. He like, look, I liked your video. I saw it. And he kind of touched her, but she kind of felt like uncomfortable. And then he was like, yeah, you're very beautiful. And then she left. He was trying to say that he had a job now. She don't have to do this, but she said she liked to. And as she left, Diamond was right there watching the whole thing. Now, she couldn't get in the door, so she was about to knock on the window, but she saw Cliffy, Pooh, and Murda kissing, and she was about to say something, but the baby started crying, so they heard it, saw that she saw. He said, hold up, let me talk to her, I'm gonna handle that. He said, you gonna handle that? He said, I'm gonna handle that. And so, meanwhile, we see back at Autumn's place that she's sipping on a little red Kool-Aid, starting to bond with Mississippi. They chilling. And so she was saying, I'm cutting cold turkey on the drink, just like you with the stripping. She said, yeah, I ain't going back, girl. She said, yeah, I know what it's like. I ain't going back either. I had a big heart problem, and I lost hand of my baby, and, I felt like dying. I deserved to die. But then this suitcase came with another life. And so she came and gave her some money, and she like, you don't have to pay me back on the money, on the 5 stacks. Here's some more money. I can get you 10. We can make more money. She like, girl, doing what? She like, I can show you. She like, why you strip? Because I like to. And so now she's showing that it's some type of scam or something she doing, but then she like, I ain't using my real name. She like, that's your real name? She like, yeah, use the last thing you ate and your color of your panties. So she said crystal and flowers. She like, okay. She like, what kind of scam is this? She said, it ain't a scam, it's retribution. Meanwhile, we see the mystery man is watching these transfers, and he's eating crystals, so he's up on where to eat. Now it's time for some real talk. Now, this episode was kind of crazy because it did seem like they spent a lot of time in jail, but they actually was probably half the episode in jail, half not. And I think that Mercedes' mama is full of crap. She is charlatan, and she may know that she has the power to, get people to do things if she started to preach. And I think that it wouldn't have worked as well if Big Beauty didn't start singing, because damn, she sound good and sing good. And that helped solidify her preaching and what she was trying to say. That made her sound better and then bring everybody around, which is why I don't blame Mercedes for getting mad at Big Beauty, because you basically made her look legit and helped her cause when she's full of crap and you don't even know it. And that's kind of messed up. Another thing, I think Clifford is in a hell of a lot of trouble with trying to keep the Pynk. And I think he'd be better off if he had ended up making the women part owners. It's only 4 or 5 of them, depending on how much money they able to come up with. That's how much a percentage or something he would decide to give them into the business. And I would put up to 50% maybe of the business and split it between them. And of course, I would keep the other 50%, but that's all in the details. Regardless, he should try to make them part owners with all that Autumn Night is doing. And Mercedes, they could come up with the money alone. And Mercedes, although is having that problem with her mother and the money, she can call the police and report a theft or robbery. And she could say that her mother stole that money, and there's no way to prove that their mother had that money or where it came from. And that could be a whole nother issue with that. And so I think Mercedes could get her money back from her mom. That lease lady would have to give it up or something. So we'll see what's going on with that. If it was a crime involved, normally she would be short. But anyway, we'll see. I got some more videos coming about P-Valley, so stay tuned. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. I want to thank everybody that supported me and everybody that's joined me on the memberships and Patreon. I really appreciate your support. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.